Hi guys, welcome back to the channel 4pixel Academy. This is Dexter, and today I'm going to show you the making up of a scene that I'm working on recently. Let me show you the rendering first. So this can be called a personal work. I did it in my weekend, and in the first part, I finished with 4 renderings. You can see here. Um, so there are some people interested in the progress and the making up. So I make this video. Hopefully, it can help you to yeah to know a little bit about my workflow and how um, I did this basically. So this making up is not about modeling or texturing. It's more about composition and lighting. Um, yeah. So most of the models here I use pre-made assets from Bentonji, some from 3 Sky, and some from my custom library. Okay, so let's talk about the inspiration first. So the inspiration originally comes from the work of Lorenzo Pennati, a very famous photographer. Um, he he did a lot of photos for Italian design brands, and I really like the the quality and the lighting and all the look of his work. So this is the kind of um, the original folder of reference that I collect. So here we go. If you uh, if you don't know about this, this is pure ref, a very nice software that can help you to um, organize and view your reference in a better way than using any kind of photo viewer. Okay, so the thing I really like about these photos are the quality of lighting, um, of course, the beauty of the design and the details at a very high level of finish. You can see the quality in every single details in the materials and um, the, the smallest thing in the finish. Yeah, and I really want to recreate the spirit. Okay, so this is what I came up after maybe I remember 1 or 2 days of working. Um, so this is the first image that I started with, and then I developed the scene and then tweaking it a little bit. Um, so basically, you can see that the scene keep improving and evolving, and it changed a lot from the beginning. And you can see the little details here in the windows has been removed away and replaced by something very uh, much more simple like this. And I keep updating the scene, placing new cameras and then playing with the composition and lighting. So this is like a practice of composition and lighting rather than um, a serious personal work that I usually work um, from the very beginning. Uh, yeah. Okay, let's jump up into the process. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so this is the and you can see at first it's just a interior dimming font test, which means uh originally I just wanted to do a like a dimming render with a nice set of furniture, but then it keep changing. So um, this might not be the first part. Okay, let me show you the first part with yeah this one. Okay, so inspiration from Lorenzo Pennati. Yeah, and I started with a scene from Pennati, band inspiration number 96. Okay. So this is some kind of Scandinavian or Nordic interior, which I use for a base and then develop from here. And actually, at the end of the day, it changed a lot. I don't keep any. I don't think I keep any of these. Uh, so first of all, I create the very first camera and trying to play with the setting. So for the camera, it's very simple actually. Um, I usually play with the focal length to define the framing and the design of the shot, whether it is a wide shot, a medium shot, or tele close up shot. And a very nice thing and very interesting thing is the output side. Um, in this series, I don't use um, a fixed side for every renderings, but I try to find the good output side for each rendering. For example, as you can see, I started with something like this. Um, Landscape or portrait. Okay, and I start with the line mix. So basically, this is the scenes from Ben Z. I didn't change anything, just place a new camera, and then started with the line mix. This one to test the scene first and to have a first impression of the scene and see how we can improve from there. So for the background, I changed the material a little bit because the current light material is not the exact way, the correct way to apply for the background because you should use the current ray switch material because it allows the light to come through the background and coming in scenes. So yeah, let's do a quick interactive and see how it goes. Okay, it looks not so bad, but it is not it is not suit for my taste and for the goal that for the look that I'm looking for. I'm going for some kind of Italian design look, something like Minotti or Polyform or Natuzzi, something like that. So all of the furnitures here, I think I cannot use them. I have to replace them with other set of furnitures. I just play with the bloom and glare to see how it looks. Nothing special here, so I will fast forward the videos a little bit because the whole video is something like 7 hours, and it's just the first part of the whole process. So I think I have to forward it a lot. Okay, so I decided to add some rocks. Okay. At this point, it's like building up the scenes, trying to find the correct furnitures. Um, yeah, so I think we can fast forward this part. Okay. I adjust the background a little bit, and as you can see, the setup of the background materials is pretty simple. Um, it's a Corona material with a nice panorama map plugged into the self illumination, and that uh, okay, that is going into coronary switch material, and not going into the global illumination. This is the part where this coronary switch material, when applied to this background, it allows on the GI and the lighting from the HDI can come through this background. And another thing about this setup is you have to set the diffuse color as 0 or black completely. Otherwise, you will not have a clear um, background. Okay, so overall, it's pretty simple for the setup. But yeah, don't use the Corona light material because that's not a correct setup. Okay, I think we can keep going. And you can see at this point, the lighting is looking not so bad. But the thing here is I want to change the color of the wall from dark gray to uh, light gray. Yeah, I think it's look better. I did change the color of the curtains, but eventually I think we should remove it. Okay. So here is the part where I change the dining chairs and the tables. If I remember correctly, these dining chairs are from Natuzi, a furniture brand that I like very much. Okay, here we go. So with the new dining chairs and dining table, I decided to tweak the chandelier a little bit because uh, basically it is pretty small and narrow. So I'd like to expand a little bit. So I yeah just copy and then tweak it. So yeah, just like this. Yeah. So nothing fancy here, just trying to expand the chandelier here along the side of the table so it looks better. And I also replaced the decoration on the table with this one from Vanity as well. It has a lot of glasses and yeah, I really like to have the glasses and decoration because it's simple, it is reflective, and it looks good most of the time. Okay, we have to get rid of the curtain eventually. Okay. So I started to model simple moldings for the walls just to add some like um, details. I just yeah. So this is like the first results of the owner change, and I think that it looks pretty nice, especially for the chairs and the tables and the lights and the decors here and the carpets. I think I did a good job on the shopping work here. Uh, Okay, there's some moldings on, everything's in place, and yeah, looks not so bad. Okay, so this is the time I started to dig into the lighting. Um, so as you can see in this scenes, I have one, two, three, four, five light source here, and I always start with the environment lighting first, which is the soft lighting that cover the whole scene, and I often use an HDI to um, to lead the scene. Yeah, it create a nice overall soft look for the whole scenes. And this HDI is from CZ Source. It is an overcast HDI, and the number is something like 00 69. You can find this exact HDI on the CD Source website. Okay. And on top of that, we have the real light number one and number 14 as the what to say. These are the main light source, like main lights in this lighting, and the environment is the soft light. It's like the fuel light in this case. I don't know if that makes any clearer, but yeah, understand that these real lights are the main lights that will create the the shadows and the contrast, and the environment lights in this case is the fuel light to create the soft lighting and making the scenes not too dark. Okay, this is where I am changing the rotation of the HDI, the environment lighting. At this point, I think the lighting is looking really good. I'm changing the intensity of the light bulbs. Okay, so let's take a look at the setup here. So you can see the real lights clearer in this uh, is viewport. So the main lines is some like a fixed line like this. It create very focused light beam that going through the scenes and then and create all of the shadows and contrast. Okay, looking pretty soft and nice here. Okay. So to wrap up about the lighting, um, I use two different light sources. The first one is the fuel lights, which is the HDI, overcast HDI to create a nice overall soft look. And the main lights is some real lights or corona lights, uh, discs, and it create stronger um, shadows and stronger contrast. It is pretty similar to the lighting in real life when it comes to something like photography or filming. It's not natural lighting, but in this case, it works. And I think in real life, when doing photo shoot, um, people also use this way because the natural lighting, if you have an overcast day, the natural lighting is pretty flat, and if you have a sunny day, then the lighting is pretty strong. So this way we have the main light with strong contrast and very harsh shadow, while a few lights will create a softer look and softer shadow. So we can really control the look um, of the lighting as we want. So yeah, this is a nice setup, easy setup, and it, as you can see, the results is pretty good. Okay. Um, After the lighting part, I start to um, spend more time on the materials, starting with the walls material. I want to have some variation, some textures on the walls, so it doesn't look too flat. Yeah, as you can see here, we have some nice bump details. Another thing about this material creation process is I often isolate object or group of objects and test them with another HDI. It's a special HDI that recreates an office room. I think it is a very nice condition to test material, and because you isolate the objects and test them with HDI, you will have a very fast feedback, and you can control and look into details much faster than if you interactive with the whole scenes. Okay, so I'm trying to create some more details on the walls, and you can see. Yeah, I started with the original picture, this one, but it didn't work. So I think I changed to another pictures, and yeah, this is the materials of the brush. Nothing too fancy here. The simple brush material with some nice variation. Okay, so this is the first render test. The I think I'm pretty happy with the lighting, and I try to do some post production. So we have the reflect, refract, direct, indirect, translucency, um, yeah, and other line select elements. And yeah, I just play with the screen of the soft light. Yeah, I I only use two blending mode, screen or soft light. Screen will give you um, brighter result, while soft light will give you darker result. And both will have to boost the contrast and um, the material sometimes. Okay, yeah. And you can see I have some elements here, and it really have to boost the look up on the glass elements here. And you can see linear dodge. Yeah, you can see the difference. The quality and the glass look is much more improved. I often combine Photoshop with Camera Raw. Yeah, it's like a combo, and it helps me to really improve the quality and the look of the final renderings in post. So my workflow of post-production can be divided into two steps. The first step is to actually use all the render elements and try to blend them using two mode, soft line or screen. That is the Photoshop part. The second part comes after with the help of the camera raw, and you can see here the camera raw you have the ability to adjust the image, but in a different way. In I can call this photographic way, because I think many photographer use camera or Lightroom. It's pretty much the same to edit their photos, and the reason is the camera raw of the Lightroom, it has some specific adjustment that can quickly uh, improve and enhance your photos, your renderings. Um, that Photoshop doesn't have, or Photoshop have, but you have to tweak them in a different way, and usually longer and not straightforward like the camera raw or the Lightroom. So here we have the camera raw, and I often use some of these. In this case, you can see the dehaze. The dehaze is something that you will really like because it can help to like make the image clearer and crisper, and you can also change the clarity to make the image even more what to say, sharper. Not sharper like some unsharp mask, but um, clearer. I think the name here, clarity and dehaze, already explain themselves. So you just need to play with these, and I think you're gonna love it. And this is just the basic adjustment of the camera. We have many kind of advanced tools here as well. Usually, I will change the width here, and I will set it, increase the width like plus 25 or something. But this is something, some adjustment that I really like about camera raw, because it can help to make the image, what to say, it can boost the image whiter, brighter, and clearer. So I suggest to try them. And in contrast, when you increase the whites, you want to decrease the highlights to not burn some areas. And to bring up the contrast, you can again decrease the black. Okay, and be careful with this number here. I often like I want to treat this image in a very subtle way, not like too much. Okay, and here we go, before and after, and you can see not really a huge change, but it helps the image look better in a subtle way. So after this first test render, I think that there's some change we have to make. So yeah, I crop the, not happy with the one material, so I adjust it again, and yeah, change the map. Okay, now it's getting to look better. I want it to have some nice textures on the walls, but not so dirty.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so basically I think I finished with this render. So eventually I rotate a chair, a closer chair. So yeah, I think it's look better this way. And again, do some post production with all the render elements. With the with this second rendering, I I did do the post production with a more attention to details and consideration. You can see the contrast is now getting uh, stronger. Okay, and let's see. Okay, this is the final result. What I like about this rendering is the lighting, because um, soft, bright, but we still have nice contrast. And the choosing of furnitures, I think they combine pretty good together. Okay, let's continue with the other image. So I continue to develop the scenes, and you can see it start with a very basic uh, dining shot, and then I expand to view a full apartment. And with this second shot, I change the output size, I change the framing to portrait mode. You can see, yeah, adding some sideboards and decoration. This sideboard is from Pennati. Yeah, here we go. Some basic modeling. I will skip this part because it is not so special, I think. Okay, let's take a look at the first test render. So we have the walls, ceilings, the floors, and the background. Simple lighting test. Okay, again, some molding. Okay. When adding new furnitures and expanding the scenes, I try to keep um, the look and feel of the original renderings, and try to keep the harmony of the colors. I don't want to have too much color in the scenes or too saturated color. And I want to make sure that the furniture, the style of all the decoration and furnitures will be nicely combined together. So I'm pretty picky when choosing new set of furnitures or decoration. Okay, I even tweak the setup of the decoration to have a better look. Yeah, and in this case, I think that this sideboard is a little bit too low, so I modify it, make it higher, adding a simple framing on the wall. And this is update test. I think the layout and the furnitures is going well together. I like the the uh, the arc windows here. Tweaking the material a bit. Okay, at this point, I decided to change the dining chairs and the tables. I choose a set from Capitone Furniture. Yeah, I think this is a very famous and well-known set. Okay, looking pretty good together. The models are downloaded from Sky, but the materials I'm not really happy with. So I uh, I usually have to tweak the materials when I download it from. Yeah. Okay. I try to make the wood grains look more visible, both in reflection and glossiness, by tweaking its contrast using the output adjustment. So basically, when you decrease the GB offset, you will have more contrast. The RGB level is something like the Balinese textures, and yeah, understanding that would help you to tweak uh, the textures to give you the look that you want. Okay. At this point, I think that the image look not so bad, but it is lacking of something, and I want to create a more dramatic and more contrast look. So I decided to tweak the lighting with the help of a Corona volume material. And you can see it is pretty flat now, but then I create a new Corona volume material to create some kind of volumetric effects. And when I plug it into the global volume material in a setting, you can see the results here. So with the help of the volumetric effect, you can see the lighting is now very focused and not so flat as before. I started to like the look much more than before. Okay, and this is the final render, I think. Uh, as you can see, this is the main lines um, that is the main light source of the scene. Okay, so here we go. This is the renders, finished render, and yeah, I'm gonna show you the process of post production. Okay, here we go. So I've often used the OpenEX plugin. It helps to compress all the render elements into one file like this. Okay. We have the direct elements, and I'm going to use with the screen mode. There we go. Okay. it has to boost on the direct lighting and indirect, yeah, the same. So when it comes to post-production, it takes a lot of consideration to figure out what elements we will use and how many, like how many percent of opacity that we will add. And yeah, it takes a lot of consideration, and it doesn't have like it is not the same process with um, on the image. With each of the image, you have to uh, think about the look that you want to achieve, and then do the necessary step. So here you can see that I also use mask to like drone the areas of the effects. Okay. And you can see the render elements really helps to enhance the image and bring it to the next level. Something that we can hardly achieve with the full, with the renderings only. Okay. Final adjustment are made within the camera roll. And I like to play with temperature first to, yeah, to define the look and the tone of the image. Yeah. And I did add some like chromatic aberration in post using the lens correction filter. I think this kind of adjustment really helps to mimic the um, photo look. What I like about these renderings is the lighting, the the contrast, the way the furnitures and decoration goes together pretty nicely, the quality of textures and materials, and the chromatic aberration really add a nice look, a nice touch to the final result. Okay, let's continue. So when change the dimming set, I try to render again the first camera, but uh, it didn't look good. We need some tweaking. So I decided to not to stop developing that image. So with the third renders, I try to play with the camera angle, and I want to have a shot that looking through the windows and review the landscape outside, because we have really nice scenery outside the windows, and the shape of the windows is, I think, it create a beautiful framing for the painting that is a landscape outside. So I cannot miss that. Okay. Playing with the camera and the lighting and the look. Okay. Um, Again, about the lighting, it doesn't change too much. I think we have like two wheel lights here, two corner lights here outside the windows, and it creates the main light of the scenes. Um, I just want to emphasize that these lights helps to create all the strong shadows and contrast, while the environment lighting helps to soften the look. Here we go. Okay, I decided to have some foregrounds for the shot, and so I add a kitchen. Yeah, I added a kitchen, something like this. Okay, so here we go. The image is ready, and notice that the image has a really nice and strong contrast in terms of lighting. This is because of the Corona volume material that we added into the global volume material. So we have some kind of volumetric effects happening here that helps to darken uh, the overall image, and the only lighting, the only bright area that we see in this image is the dimming area, and it create a really nice soft and contrast look. Okay. And as usual, I did playing with the render elements and the camera roll. Okay. Faking some bloom and glare effects surround the windows with the help of a light select in screen mode, and then apply a Gaussian blur. Final adjustment in camera raw, and we came up with this. Okay. I like the contrast in the lighting and the framing of this shot. What a nice view. Okay, this is the first part of the progress, and I'm going to show you the second part. Okay, so the second part is uh, a lot of adjustment and then modeling to expanding the scene. And you can see, I want to have a full apartment. So yeah. This is again some furnitures from Bentonzi. I choose this set because it looks, I think it can be related to the current scenes. So yeah, I choose this set, but um, at the end I did change a lot of them. Okay, modeling. Okay, this first step render. Now you can see my progress is usually start with a very rough render, and then do some post processing in Photoshop to see how I can boost the image and to imagine what it can be at the end, and then yeah, continue to develop from there.
Bruno. Okay.
Yeah, here we go. So this is the video line number 14, which is the pretty big line disk that I told you earlier, and you can see it create a very nice, strong shadows and very nice contrast. Okay. That is our main lines. Then we have all the other few lines to soften the look. Okay. Okay. I continue to add more furnitures and decoration. This shelf is from Rima Desio, uh, also very famous and high quality furniture brand in Italy. I really like their products. Okay, adding the chandelier, but I don't like this one, so I changed it later. Okay, this cabinet is also from Rima Desio. Tweaking the material a little bit. Okay, so I think this is the final rendering. Here we go again with the post-production. I think nothing too fancy here. Let's start with the direct first. Change the mode to 16-bit. Screen. Yeah. Much brighter. Cabinet lighting. The indirect lighting screen as well. You can see that I switch on and off the elements quite a few times just to compare and to think, to consider whether it is good or not. Uh, yeah, this reflect with soft light helps to boost the contrast. And you can see the refract is also used with screen mode, but I use it only to lit up a little bit of the vase on the coffee table here. And the translucency, I think it is, okay, this is the environment light. We use the screen mode as well. This is the chandelier screen mode as well. This is the lines from the table lines. Pendant only from screen press. Okay, this is lighting coming from the windows, and yeah, for now it is too strong. Okay, the light outside the windows, and this is our main lights. Okay, so I did go back and change the opacity because I don't want to use with 100%. In some case that will be too much. So the technique here is very simple, but it takes time to consider and to decide what to use, where to use, and how to use. You can see the tricks again. The help of the um, Windows lighting, and I use screen mode, and I apply a Gaussian blur to create the halo and yeah, the blooms around the windows. Finish with the chromatic aberration add. I think the videos is finished. This is the final results. So I'm happy with the lighting. I think some of the materials looks good, but the scene is pretty. Um, yeah, I don't know. I want to put more objects in the scenes, make it a more busy scene. For now, it's kind of yeah. So my test. This is I want to have more furnitures in. So I decided to make another series of this same scenes and develop it with more renders. I can show you the part two of this render here. Okay. I'll show you the whole set. At the time of this videos, this making a video, I haven't published these renderings anywhere else yet. So you guys are the first one to see all of these. Okay. This one I did post on my Facebook. I tried to create a vintage and like film look for this shot. It reminds me of Alex Roman. Uh, yeah, I admire him a lot. He's truly an inspiration. Some details. This one I did post this on my Facebook as well. This one never been published. This one I did try uh, to use the anamorphic camera or an anamorphic format. Okay. Try to create something more cinematic look. This one is the final furnishing decoration assemble. And you can see this is like a um, collection of some of the I don't know what to say. Some of the furniture piece that I love most. So this is more about my taste. You can see a little bit of progress here. I render a graph image with a very low quality, and yeah, I just point out some areas that I need to improve and adjust the. So I feel quite happy about this rendering. Yeah, really like it. And some of them are really nice piece of furniture. This one, the um, extra or extreme chair. I like the geometry curvy looks of this one as well. Anyway, it's just my personal taste. Okay, okay, this one is actually um, this is the original rendering, and this is the that same rendering, but with the half line mix. I convert it into a line wood. And I think it looks good, really good. I know that Limix is not something new to you guys, but yeah, it still feels it still amazes me sometimes because it's easily turn this one into this one. Okay, the whole mood and the whole lighting. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy and like this one. This is a front desk with the nice toys from cars and the playing of the lighting color. Do you think it look creepy? I think a little bit, but it's fun. This is the again the original rendering, and this is the Limix version. Okay, this is again the oval shop. I like this one as well. And notice this. This is uh, a very special piano from Fazoli. Okay, I believe that is also an Italian brand. Okay. As you can see, this is a nice touch of the furs with the help of Corona hair material. Really helps to yeah soften the look and make it look more fur-like. Okay. Actually, I add this from this render. Yeah, you can see the quality of the fur lines here. Really nice. Okay, this one is an experiment with the lime mix. Yeah, I call it blue on blue. This one is the same render, but I play with the lime mix. But I don't like the lighting here. The lighting here is not good. It is not good. The color combination is not pleasant to my eyes. And this IES, this shadows is ugly. I don't like this one. Um, this one is better. Actually, they are owned from the same render, which means I only render once, and with the help of Limix, I have that three version adjustment. But I think I like this best. For the night shot, I think I couldn't use the light mix here, so I had to tweak the lighting more and okay. So this is the blue one. This is the artificial lighting that I don't like. This is the daylight that I like better. And I made another version of the night shot with this one, and I like this better. It has on the blue color, but not so blue, not too blue like the one before. And I decided to turn off on the artificial lighting, leaving all the rooms um, in the blue lights from the environment outside, and um, and added the background with some. This is the famous Kronstadt village uh, in a beautiful lighting. and it gives a nice contrast um, between the warm, vibrant, and interesting lighting outside, far away, and the cool, maybe cold blue lighting inside the house. Uh, I think this contrast makes me feel better. And I also like the reflection on the piano. Really nice piece of a piano, and the design is pretty interesting. Not a classic piano. Yeah, this one is from Fazoli, I believe. Okay, this is the latest rendering from this scene, which I feel I have a lot of fun working with this one. Um, I started with the with this one. Um, I started with this one. Yeah, this one. Then I feel that it is lacking of something, so I continue to push it. Um, Starting with the look, I want to make it more cinematic look with orange and teal color. I want it to look like from a movie. And finally, the final touch is adding a gun here. I This gun is from Shutterstock. I just go on that website and try to find a nice woman um, sitting on a sofa and wearing something that can relate to my scenes in terms of colors and style. And I find this one, and I think it looks it is a very good match with my scenes. And yeah, and you can see has to give to breathe some life into this rendering. Yeah, I'm very happy with this. This is the render without the woman and a brighter lighting, a brighter mood and tone. And this one is the some kind of morning, and this is some kind of, I don't know, maybe late afternoon, something like that. This one is the same shot, but I render with some updates on materials, uh, furnitures, and expand the framing. Okay, this is a nice shot of that one. Let me know what do you like most out of these four images. Okay, this one I like this. This is like a welcome shot. If you go into the apartment, this is the first impression that you will have. A nice Italian design apartment, looking uh, to the beautiful Homestad village through app windows. Yeah, I think the views is very welcome, and the we have a nice contrast between the interior lightings and the it's pretty warm inside and cold outside. Beautiful but cold outside. the same version, sorry, the same shot, but uh, night version, dusk version, day, night. Yeah. Another version with stronger artificial lighting inside. Okay, this is a close-up shot focus on the chair, the armchairs here. Again, a sexy design uh, with a lot of curves. I like this one. It's look pretty special. I mean, I like the furnitures, not the whole renders. I still feel that I can work more on the lighting, have something better for the background. But yeah, I have to finish the project at some point. So this is the final result. Um, this is the night version of that shot. I think it look better than this one in terms of colors and contrast and focus on the on revealing the form and shape of the furniture. This is the living shot. You can see a lot of like the complete furniture layouts of the apartment in shot. Yeah. The lighting is pretty bright and gloomy. The same shot, but night version. And so far, as you can see, I have day version and night version, and they all comes from one single render. You can see the power of light mix. Yeah, very useful, very handy. Okay. After all, I come back with the initial shot. Okay, when the again, and yeah, I think it looks better than before. Simple yet elegant dining. Looking through the windows, we see the Holstad village with the mountain and the lake. I've been to Holstad twice, and really it is a beautiful place to visit. As the village, it has a mountain, it has the lake, it has beautiful, very beautiful. You should visit it. Okay, the same shot, night version, and also the final render of this set. Okay, so yeah, that is all about this project. So I was yeah, that this is making up here, and that's it. So consider this is a practice of composition and lighting, uh, like develop a scenes with a personal taste and try to capture it with the camera and the lighting. It's a fun uh, experiment with me. Um, so I hope that making up clear some point and help you something about I don't know, um lighting, composition, building your look. There's some nice details actually in this shop, which is the have a pan fur in corner ham material. You can see the very tiny furs on this chair make it look much more convincing, much more softer, and yeah. There's some image I really like about the series, and some I don't really satisfy with. But yeah, this is a fun experiment, a personal project. So I don't have too much time to spend on, and I guess I have to stop at some point. Yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with the results, and yeah, maybe enough of talking. Um, Hope you have fun, enjoy watching videos, the making up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Cheers.